What's up, everybody? This is the B Jizzle Show. I'm your host, Mr. BJ Matthews, and welcome back to the second volume episode of the Kobe Bryant series. I hope you guys enjoyed the first one. If you guys have not seen the first episode, please go back and watch the first one, saying that black men need to learn this lesson. That was the first video of the Kobe Bryant series. So again, if you have not watched that one, make sure you guys take a look at that video before you move on to this one, so it'll make much more sense. So let's get into it, man. Like I said, with the Patreon, for the people that's signed up, there's a few people that signed up so far since starting this week. Again, so the Patreon, just a little rundown. I am literally doing the Patreon for deep topics. You know what I'm saying? Topics that surround people, their families, relationships, friendships, independency, things of that nature, primarily towards black men. Now, however, men in general are always welcome. Even women are generally welcome to this channel. But this is more geared towards the black man. Just off the simple fact, like I said, most outlets don't have a lot of things for black men that kind of have these type of platforms and things to talk about. And I think they're well needed amongst us, just off what black men have to deal with in the everyday life in the world, and they just need something that you actually get some type of uh some type of direction. And I think that I can be a definitely help to that. So that's why I created this channel. I definitely appreciate y'all coming through. And if you guys have people that y'all want to share this with, please share it with some of your other family and friends who find some use to this as well. But let's get into it. The title of this video, and I apologize if y'all hear some rain. It's raining out here on the west. The title of this video is "He Who Finds a Wife Finds a Good Thing." He who finds a wife finds a good thing. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. Starring Vanessa Bryant. Now, I don't know if I want to change it to something else, because I do want to, not give the title away before somebody listens to it. So I might change the title just so people can actually, be curious about how to, click in the video. So I might change it, but this is going to be geared towards mainly Vanessa Bryant, who is the widow of Kobe Bryant, the late great Kobe Bryant, icon, basketball player, legend. This is going to be, geared towards, basically, this is a topic that a lot of men can really relate to. A lot of black men as well, because it's gonna, of course, entail a black man, and the sort of experiences that he experienced, through this relationship throughout the years. I think a lot of people can kind of relate to it. I think this could help quite a few brothers. But let's get into it. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. Where does that come from? Of course, if you guys are spiritual, if you guys do read the Bible, if y'all believe in the scriptures and the word, which I certainly do, the scripture, Proverbs 18:22 says, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord." Right? He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Okay? Meaning, like I said, when it comes to scriptures, I try to, use this as a crux for my life. When I do certain things I've learned throughout my life to involve scripture. If I feel lost in anything, if I feel like something doesn't make any sense, I go to the scriptures to, look it up to make sure, it lines up. Because like I said, when you line up your life with the word of God, and I don't mean to seem too preachy about it, but this is just how I live my life. When you line up yourself with the word of God, you tend to avoid a lot of unnecessary problems in your life. Life is very simple, but because of the outside, the outside, what's the word, forces, and I'm saying, confusion, obstacles, things of that nature, it makes it, kind of, difficult for people to kind of deter the two. So the Bible is basically an instruction book for, how people should, handle not just, life, but certain situations in their life, right? It's not something for just basically just religious reasons. I don't even look at it like that. I look at it just basically as an instruction book. A lot of, different, verses and, counsel is all in the book of the word. And if you guys really pay attention, a lot of things that people use out the outside world comes from the Bible. all these different, instruction books and all these books that, these, different authors like to, write are inclinations of the Bible, right? If y'all ever read the book called The Secret, basically it's just the law of the attraction. Um, which I read when I was, I think, in high school. Basically just, when you talk about the law of attraction, basically having faith, there's so many different verses in the Bible that, resolve around that, believe and you shall receive, have faith of a mustard seed. You know what I'm saying? You cannot please God without faith. Like all different verses in the Bible that circle around that book, which their main idea is just basically, have belief. The law of attraction is basically what you believe you shall receive. The manifestation means you shall, get what you ask for. Right? You know what I'm saying? Even in the, book of the Bible, there's a, verse, I can't remember what it is, but it says, write down the vision and make it plain. Meaning, whatever you have a plan for your life, write down that vision and see it every day, you shall receive. There's so many different books out there that try to use that as if it's some type of way to achieve your goals. You know what I'm saying? If you write things certain down, it becomes a vision. But that's already implemented into the Bible. So a lot of things that people do subconsciously or consciously come from the Bible. So that's why I choose to use my life to, try and say line up the words to the Bible, because that's where you won't go wrong. But back to the story. So in continuation of the Kobe Bryant series, I said I was going to talk about, Vanessa Bryant, the next one. And then after this, I'm going to talk about Vanessa Bryant and Kobe Bryant's parents, the fallout. But in order to do that, I need to talk to y'all about, who Vanessa Bryant was, and where she came from, and how did Kobe Bryant meet, her background. Because we can't just, focus on Kobe's background. We got to focus on also what's Vanessa's background, where did she come from, how did her, her family values, align to how she is today as a person. So, of course, Vanessa Bryant is Kobe Bryant's widow. They were married for 20 plus years. And, I remember Vanessa Bryant very, very vividly. I remember because Kobe Bryant, I watched, being from California with the Lakers. Kobe Bryant was on top of the basketball world at that time. In 2000, 2001, him and Shaq were winning championships. So anything that came through, Los Angeles, resolving the Lakers and Kobe, was going to actually be echoed, especially in his personal life. So it comes out in 2001, I believe, that Vanessa Bryant marries Kobe Bryant. They meet, and, pretty much it caused a storm throughout the basketball world and the world in general. So who is Vanessa Bryant? Well, Vanessa Bryant, whose real name is Vanessa Lane. This is her background, where she came out, did some digging, some research. Of course, I already knew this stuff, but I did some more research because I had to, refresh my memory. She said her parents were separated when she was very young. Her biological father moved to Mexico after the divorce. Her family lived in Garden Grove, California, and she lived in Huntington Beach, California with her step-grandfather, Robert Lane. She went to Marina High School. Okay. So Vanessa, if you guys do not know, is of Mexican descent. Her mother's name is Sophia Lane. And she raised, Vanessa Bryant as a single mother before she her mother, married a man by the name of Mr. Robert. I think Robert is a white Caucasian man, but basically, like, what it says right here, her biological father moved to Mexico after the divorce. So obviously Vanessa is of Mexican descent. Basically, what I'm saying, her father, I can probably, can already kind of tell, was somebody that came here, had a hard time getting over to the U.S. And, basically her mother and him probably married at a young age, which a lot of, the Mexican culture tends to do. They married very young. She ended up getting her over to the, the States, the family over to the States. And that's when Vanessa was, pretty much raised here in California. And after the divorce, she, gets married to, her mother gets married to a man by the name of Robert Lane, who I guess, was pretty well off and had, some pretty good living. So all this stuff that I'm sharing with y'all, just giving y'all a background of who she is and what she was around and where she was raised. So single mother, remarried after, previous biological father, which is Vanessa's father, um, was, fled back to Mexico. And also Vanessa's real name is Consejo, not Lane. So her biological name was Consejo. So she took on the name Lane, which is who her mother remarried, instead of her actual real name, which is Vanessa Consejo. So her real name is Vanessa Consejo Lane, and of course Bryan, which is her actual name right there. So she's had 3 last names, what I'm saying, in her existence. But good. Well, Vanessa, of course, went to high school, Marina High School. So what type of student was she? How was she in school? How she was in class? How was she basically as a person with her classmates? Right? What type of student was she? What type of worker was she? Did she get along with her classmates? Did she, um, was she the popular kid? Was she, disruptive in class? Was she a straight A student? What type of person she was? Well, according to this, it says Vanessa Bryan was a good student, liked by her teachers and classmates. Right? Let me go a little bit deeper. So, her being a good student and liked by classmates, she was also a very good student. As far as, I think she was an A+ student. She helped with her teachers, being their personal assistants and stuff like that. So she was somebody that actually took care of her studies. She wasn't a dumb person. She wasn't, out there trying to, be promiscuous, whatever. She basically was a good student, and she, took care of her studies. Now that, of course, that can be kind of attributed and credited to her mother, which was also documented, which I'm gonna read in a little bit. Her mother actually was pretty strict on her, growing up. Basically, didn't let her really date like that. She didn't really let her, go out and do certain things like, a lot of kids, tend to do. She was pretty much held under strict guidelines under her mother. So that obviously shows she has some type of discipline to her. Right? Now, again, a lot of times when I was listening to Vanessa Bryan growing up, used to hear the stuff like, she used to try to, take Kobe for his money, and she's trying to, rake him through the coals. And she just, she's 17 years old. What does she possibly know about being a wife? This, that, and the other. So we're going to attack all that throughout this whole thing. But I'm going to get back to the point. So she was a pretty good student, very good student, according to her classmates. Right? All right. So what else can we dig up about, Vanessa Lane, how she was? So she, obviously Mexican descent. Her father, was, from Mexico, I'm guessing. And her stepfather is somebody who her mother married, named Robert Lane. So what else can we dig up about Vanessa and who she was? So also she was somebody that, right? Said Vanessa Bryan became a model by accident. So one of the big things that was told, I remember when, I was, following the situation back in the 2000s, was that Vanessa Bryan was some type of music girl. She was, some type of person that, was in music videos and rap videos, things of that nature. According to this, he said Vanessa Bryan became a model by accident. So basically, from what I read, and I'm going to kind of show y'all as well, she was somebody in high school, like I said, she had, good grades. She was, of course, pretty, beautiful, whatever. Um, she had the looks, that, and the other. And she became a person in the music industry off of just simply that. Now, I'm going to tie a couple things when I say that. When you have people saying certain things, you got to actually look it up for yourself. Right? In continuation, she said she got several jobs as a music video model with her mother, who was quite overprotective of Bryan. Accompanying her to each job, Bryan would go on to appear in videos for like Crazy Bone and Snoop Dogg, and aware that her accidental career would soon lead her to me and the love of her life. So I'm gonna get into that in a minute. But basically, Vanessa Bryan was, approached I believe by a music agency guy. I think she was walking with some of her friends while she was in high school at the time still, because I think she was 16, 17 years old. And she did a few music videos with a couple of rappers, such as Snoop. Of course, anybody from the West Coast knows who Snoop Dogg is. Corrupt, or Crazy Bone, and Snoop Dogg. So that's basically what happened when it came to her being somebody in the music industry and music videos. She did not want to be a person as a music video or a model. She wanted to be a makeup artist. That's what she essentially wanted to be. But, you know, her being 16, 17, young at the time and being approached by a certain music agent, I'm pretty sure they offered her money. She decided to, you know, try this new career field out. As you guys can see, said Vanessa Bryant has been a woman of many talents. So, of course, something at that age and you offer a person, you know, who really doesn't come from money, who doesn't really come from, you know what I'm saying, very, very, you know, big lump sum of money, whose mother obviously is somebody that chooses to, you know, get what she can get and every opportunity that comes her way, i.e., remarrying a pretty successful man, you're going to have certain situations like this with, you know, all right, apologize, y'all. It's kind of raining out here, so if y'all hear some background noise, just don't mind that. But like I said, as y'all can see, you know, basically she was somebody that was, you know, taking advantage of the opportunity that was given to her, and she did a few music videos, you know, pretty much in contrary to it. So in doing the music videos, as y'all can see, the last sentence, her accidental career would soon lead her into meeting the love of her life. Of course, when I talk about the love of her life, I'm talking about Kobe Bryant, um, which is somebody that had 21 years of marriage. Now, this is where things take a little bit of a unexpected turn, right? Vanessa and them, she fell in love with him at 17 years old, right? 17 years old, that's when they fell in love. Now, you got to remember, this is the 2000s. This isn't the 2010s, 2020. This was literally over 20 years ago, right? I believe I was 10 years old at the time. When that happened, I was 9 years old. I'm tripping. 2001 when they got married, I was 9. So when you talk about this and this time, it was a little bit, you know, awkward. You're talking about you know, a guy in Kobe Bryant at the time, I think he was 22, and Vanessa was 17. 17 means that she was still in high school. Now, yet again, she's 17, he's 22. Um, Obviously, she's of, you know, she's a younger, a younger lady, um, that basically just didn't have, you know, um, the opportunity to really be, um, I'm sorry, not opportunity, but basically she was, you know, at the time met by, you know, a successful, you know, basketball player, probably the best basketball player in the NBA at that time, or one of the top 2, top 3 players. Approached him basically, you know what I'm saying, for marriage and, you know what I'm saying, a different lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff that's coming at one time, as somebody who's 17 years old, is not your, you know, your normal type of love story, or your normal type of love story. But this is what happened. So, of course, with having this amount of having this amount of attention brought to you in high school at 17 years old, you would think a person who was described as a quote unquote attention whore, you know, gold digger, whatever, like Vanessa was a lot of times, she basically, you know what I'm saying, would probably eat that attention up. Oh, look at me, I'm married to, you know, Kobe Bryant, I'm about to get married to Kobe Bryant, this, that, and the other. So how was she in school when she, you know, of course was being, you know, because everybody's talking about it, you know, they know the cat's out the bag. So everybody's talking about, you know, Vanessa Bryant, you know, getting married to Kobe, or, you know, being with Kobe Bryant. So how was she with her, you know, with that situation? It says right here that Vanessa Bryant fiercely guarded her privacy after becoming a household name, meaning that she basically did not want to deal with all the public light, right? According to, you know what I'm saying, the reports, the sources said Vanessa Bryant never seemed to seek the spotlight, even though she was married to one of the most famous athletes of all time. As we continue, she said friends and teachers told the Los Angeles Times that Vanessa didn't brag about her relationship with NBA star Kobe Bryant when she was in school, and that she didn't use her connection to boost her popularity with her classmates. Over the years, Vanessa has granted very few interviews and shared very few details of her personal life, preferably to live as normal as possible. She also turned out multiple offers to air her life on a reality TV show. I really enjoy my privacy, she told Fab Fit Fun in a rare interview. So going back to what was just said, a couple things to pick the eight. So again, she's in high school. She's 17 years old. She's a senior at this time. It's all about the clout, especially when it comes to women. Women love attention, regardless of what they say. Most of the time, women love attention, especially the women of this age. Man, I want y'all to hear what I'm saying. Women love to have attention, whether that be from their man, whether that be their peers, their friends, hell, even their family. And now it's social media. Now it's about the clicks. Now it's about, you know what I'm saying, getting approval from, certain people because they want to feel validated. Most of the times, majority of times, women love validation. What does the saying go? Women want to be appreciated, meaning they want to be noticed. They want to be valued. And there's nothing wrong with that if you're a good woman, if you actually earn that title. That's why I say, going back to the verse, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. If you have a girlfriend, if you have a wife, if you have somebody who's a significant other who does right by you, takes care of you, who looks out after you, why wouldn't you want to validate her? Why wouldn't you want to make her feel like, she is, worth of value? Because let me tell you something. For me, a woman is supposed to bring peace to your life. A woman is supposed to bring peace, right? She's supposed to bring a certain level of honor and respect to your name. She's not supposed to allow you to look foolish out here. And there's going to be some other things that's going to kind of, pinpoint what I'm talking about. But a wife is supposed to be somebody you can count on. And usually a man has to know who he is, first off. And then he can be able to find the woman he wants to share the rest of his life with. Because let me tell you something. How far a man goes, a lot of it circulates on the woman he chooses. The friends he had, because you can't choose your family, but you can choose your wife and your friends based off of the circle of friends that you have and the woman that you choose to be with the rest of your life, who you choose, is going to determine how far you go into your business, your career, your life, your success, your happiness. Is going to determine based off the woman you choose. How many of y'all have homeboys or friends that are miserable because of the wife or the girlfriend they're dealing with, or the divorce, or the custody of the children? Their wife has put them through all types of hell. They can't sleep at night. They telling you about all their problems, all because of a woman. There's another verse that in the Bible. I don't know if I'm trying to say it verbatim, but it says basically, has nothing on a scorned woman, or fear something of the lines of basically, not too much things are worse than a scorned woman. A woman that is basically looking for revenge, or a woman that's looking for some type of edge over a man. There's not too many things that is worse than that, because usually when you talk about a scorned woman, a woman that's been, been feel like she's been humiliated, violated, or disrespected, and she has a plan to get you back, there's not too many things that's worse than that. So again, based off of who you choose as a wife is going to determine how far you get in life. Now, see, that rhymes. Who you choose as a wife determines how far you get in life. Remember that. But let's get back to it. Vanessa Bryant, um, meets Kobe Bryant, and also they, have a love life at just 17 years old. Now, understand something else very carefully. What's between you and your significant other, nobody may not understand. Whether that be your family, whether that be your friends, whether that be whoever it may be, there's only two people that's going to understand how deep in love you are with that significant other. You can have people that can try to give you advice or try to give you counsel, but at the end of the day, as a man, you're going to have to determine if this is the one for you or not. You're going to have to be the one that's going to have to deal with this woman every day of your life, lay down with her, have children by her if you choose to. When things get rough, you know what I'm saying? Is she going to be the one that's going to stick by you, or is she going to be the one that's going to flee and leave? That's going to be something else. I'm going to also pinpoint about this because this is very, good. I'm going to pinpoint a lot of different things because it's going to put everything in together. But the message so far is, man, who you choose as a wife is going to determine how far you get in life. So these two, spending time with each other, talking to get with each other for hours. These are words of Kobe Bryant, because of the wife, the woman he chose. So of course, when they get to a point where they're going to, choose to get married, they eventually going to have to tell somebody, and that's going to have to be their family. Now, just like many at this time, they felt like this was kind of strange that, Kobe Bryant and Vanessa Bryant were getting married and choosing to have this marriage so soon. Vanessa being 17 years old, Kobe being 22, right? They're extremely young. They're babies. They're people that 21 means you just got legal to start drinking. I think he was 21, not 22. You're just getting legal to start drinking. 17, you're not even 18. You're not even old enough yet to smoke, to go to an 18-year-old and up club. So you're talking about some very, very rare type of situation. So Kobe and Vanessa are two people, like I said, they fell in love at a young age. Kobe and Vanessa met at a venue. Basically, he said that, he fell in love at first sight of, basically who she was. So Kobe Bryant's family did not approve of this. As y'all know, Kobe Bryant's parents and Vanessa Bryant and Kobe had a very, very strained relationship throughout the years, which I'm going to talk about in probably the next video. The strained relationship between Vanessa Bryant and Kobe's parents, right? What, really went down, and certain stories that people I know that told me about this whole situation. Like I said, I know a lot of people, especially being out here from LA or being out here from Southern California. I got personal stories that, describes how Vanessa was, how Kobe was, how his parents was. Personal stories, which I'm going to share in the next video. No biasness, no nothing. It's just going to be straight, uncut, detailed talk. But let's get back to the story. Right here it says, when Kobe Bryant tied the knot in April 18, 2001 via NBC, the ceremony was a happy occasion filled with love, but the couple's special day was bittersweet. Neither of their families completely approved of the relationship, with Vanessa's stepfather, Stephen Lane, telling the Los Angeles Times that he did not approve of the fact that his stepdaughter was just 17 when she met the 20-year-old basketball player. So it wasn't just Kobe's parents that didn't approve of this. Vanessa's didn't either. Stephen Lane, which is her stepfather, did not approve of Vanessa Bryant marrying Kobe Bryant. Right? She was 17 years old because of how old she was. According to this. According to the Los Angeles Times, he did not approve the fact that his stepdaughter was just 17. Now, usually that is actually a very, very valid point. You don't know, as an outsider looking in, what in the world would a 17-year-old know about marriage and being a wife? What the hell would she know? This is what this guy's thinking about. What do you know about marriage? What do you know about being a wife? Do you have any idea what you signed up for? And then you're doing it with a world famous athlete, basketball player. You know what comes with that. That's what he's telling. Stephen Lane is telling his stepdaughter at the time. You're not ready for that. And that's a very, very valid point. Most people, a majority of people would think like that, especially about their own, daughter or stepdaughter. Right? As we continue, things were even worse with Kobe's families. However, his father reportedly did not approve of the fact that his son's bride was Latina and not black, as noted by the Orlando Centennial. In fact, his Kobe's parents refused to attend the wedding. Even after they began to slowly mend the rift over time, Vanessa remained estranged from her in-laws. When his high school retired his number shortly after their wedding, Kobe's parents turned up but sat in the different section of the bleachers than their daughter-in-law. So this kind of changes a little bit of my original thoughts of thinking it was just the mother. It seems like, according to this, the father was involved as well. And basically, it wasn't even about that she was underage, the fact that she was not black, which I'm going to talk about more likely in the next video about that, because you have, me being a black man and have dated, black and Latin women, I can definitely, connect with this. And I can definitely understand what happened here and what Kobe was thinking in his head and what Vanessa was thinking in her head. And then what the parents were thinking in their heads. I can kind of connect in all, because I've been in this situation myself. So I can speak from personal experience. So I'm going to pretty much talk about that in the Kobe Bryant episode number 3, when it talks about her parents and his parents and Vanessa Bryant and their estranged relationship. But like I said, both sides did not approve of this marriage. Kobe Bryant's parents and his family, not just his parents, but his sisters, did not attend the wedding as well. Right? So no one attended the wedding. Both sides, basically, two kids, different ethnicities, different backgrounds, different cultural differences, getting married young like this. This is something where people looking like, what the hell is going on? What are you thinking? His parents asking Kobe Bryant, what the hell are you thinking? We do not operate like this. We don't do things like this. What did she do to you? What happened to you? This, that, and yeah, this is not according to the plan, son. This isn't according to the plan. Right? You're going out there in LA, you getting your head filled a little bit. You need to come back, come back down to earth. Come back to your Philly roots. Right? You're getting too Hollywood on us. This is okay. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna get into this deeper into the next video, I promise. But just to keep things a band, their parents did not approve of this wedding. And it was for different reasons. Right? So again, stick on the message. There's 2 actually. Who you choose as a wife is how far you'll get in life, and he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Again, pay attention to the scriptures. Nothing else matters but the scriptures. That again, speaking to my life, will put everything into plain sight. So, as we continue, here's what's really happening at this point now. So, if you talk about more things in detail, they get married, they have a family, they have 4 children. Natalia, Gianna, who died, with Kobe Bryant, a plane crash, disastrously. Bianca and Capri, who, are also her daughters. So four daughters that these 2 actually these 2 actually birthed. So they're getting ready to start their journey, right? They're getting ready to start their, journey. Obviously, starting off without their parents. Before they had children, it was just these 2. Or before they had kids, it was just these 2. I'm sorry. Right? Before they had children, it was just these 2. So they had to basically get to know each other on a deeper level. And because of the differences between their parents, both sides were basically against them, basically getting married. That obviously drove them even closer to each other. I strongly believe because of the common struggle that they shared with both of their families doing the same thing. I think it brought them closer together. You can imagine the deep talks that they had, as close as they said they were, about their family. Like I said, a woman is somebody you can count on. A wife is somebody you can count on. I'm sure you guys have wives or girlfriends that y'all tell everything to when y'all going through something. You have to be able, as a man, you're going to have to be able to let some of that emotion out. You're going to have to talk to somebody about it. Now, me personally, when it comes to certain subjects, I think it's not something you should tell your wife. You should talk to, confide with other men about, because certain things your wife will not understand. But when it comes to certain commonalities and things like that, your wife is the main person you need to be talking to as the man. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of stuff she can already see too. That's called a woman's intuition. She can see, certain things that you may not see coming. And men are the same way. They call it a gut feeling. A man be able to see something that a woman may not see. So you're supposed to counterbalance each other. That's why I say when you find a wife, you find a good thing. So of course, everything isn't going to be peaches and cream when it talks about relationships or marriage, right? That's why the wedding vow says, through sick, through poor, sick and poor, through or good or bad, whatever the wedding vows. I can't even say it. My mind's all over the place right now. But basically, you don't just give up on the certain first, inkling of trouble or obstacle. That's what your vows are for when you get married. Those are the traditional vows. So, of course, the biggest and probably the first big obstacle after, the differences between their parents was this right here, was the major scandal in 2000, I think 2003 or 2000, was it 2003? Yeah, 2003. A huge scandal came out of Kobe Bryant accused of rape. Now, I remember this like it was yesterday. It took place in Eagle, Colorado, where Kobe Bryant had sexual encounter with, I think, a minor. I think she was 18. He was, of course, at the time, he was 25, I believe, 25, 26, and she was 18. So she wasn't a minor. She was still, I think she was legal, but, or she was 18 or 19, the lady, a Caucasian lady. I forgot her name. But basically, the story goes is that Kobe Bryant, was in Eagle, Colorado, and they were at a hotel, and I guess she was one of the hotel clerks, and her knowing who he was, and Kobe Bryant being at a time where, on the road, NBA player, athlete, it commonly happens when you're on the road. A lot of these athletes seem to, have extra, additional women around, right? It's a common thing. It just is what it is when it comes to athletes. He had a sexual encounter with a Caucasian lady, and it went viral. But of course, it wasn't the fact that they had said that wasn't. It was the fact that she reported that it was rape, which took it to an entirely different new level. Right? Kobe Bryant has a press conference, disclaiming he was innocent, saying that the girl and him was a consensual sex. It wasn't something that, he had to force her to do anything. Right? Now, I've already expressed, I believe, exactly what Kobe was saying, just off the fact of, first of all, when you talk about a person who is of that ilk, you're getting women thrown at you left and right. So you don't really have to really force yourself on anybody. You can always you have women throwing themselves at you, right? So I definitely understand. And the second part is the woman who accused him of the scandal basically has a history of sleeping with multiple men. That was what was reported by certain men. Her friends even came out and said that she was trying to get off on Kobe Bryant's wealth, and she was going to try to, lower him and try to, get him caught up in a situation, which she basically did. She got him caught up in a situation. Kobe Bryant showed a level of weakness and conformed. She was paid off in 2004, a settlement, and that was the end of that. But Kobe Bryant showed a level of weakness and a level of wrong discernment at the time, right? Another thing that is said also that some of the strongest men's been taken down by a woman, and that's some real shit. Some of the strongest men has been taken down by a woman. The Bible, the Word talks about that as well. Her looks, her don't let her beauty um make you not think with discernment. A lot of you men go through that to this day. Y'all see a bad chick or you see a beautiful woman and you just every logic comes out of your mind, right? You just worried about sleeping with sleeping with her, right? That's what happens. You're just worried about getting your nut off, whatever. And a lot of you guys actually have a regret when it comes to what I'm saying, choosing the woman you were. That's what goes back to the title. How far you get into life is the wife you choose, or the woman you choose to be with as your wife. That's very real. And the woman standing next to Kobe Bryant stood by him the whole time. This is what really should have showed a lot of people what type of wife she was. Well, BJ, she was just doing it because he was taking care of her. He was doing this, that, and the other. Okay, I got something for that as well. But like I said, a person's loyalty is not tested when things are going good. When it's tested when things are going bad. When things are not in your favor, when you lose something or you get embarrassed, or when you are tested, basically your loyalty is tested when things are going bad. And throughout the entire time, the only person that really stood back by him was his wife. His parents wasn't nowhere to be found. His sisters, his extended, no one was around. The whole world was calling this man a rapist. Um, what I'm saying, was humiliated. Um, this is when really Kobe Bryant's endorsements started getting taken away. Kobe had Sprite, he had McDonald's, he had Nike, he had all the big time endorsements. All that stuff stopped when the scandal came out. He had to re-earn his legacy back. You guys got to remember, after this, Kobe Bryant was looked at as a villain in the league. Many people did not really like Kobe Bryant. He was considered a ball hog. He was considered selfish. He was arrogant. All these different terms were coming out of nowhere as soon as the scandal hit. Now, of course, with the Shaq thing, I think it was a little bit there, but this really was what really skyrocketed all this. And his wife is having to hear every bit of it, and she stood right by him the whole time. Never left, never wavered. So you can imagine what he's feeling to himself. He's like, damn, like this woman's really for me. She really cares about me. She really wants to. She don't see the basketball. She sees the 18-year-old or 21-year-old kid that she fell in love with, that she started, dating, and she looked at as charismatic, charming. Women don't give a damn about none of that. Well, I'll say a woman falls in love with a man's potential, who she sees he can be, his vision. Vanessa Bryant, I can guarantee you, didn't know shit about basketball until she met Kobe Bryant. But you can see her cheering for him at the games. You can see her trying to, I think after the championship he won in 2001, they interviewed her and basically said that she was, she was so proud of him. She don't give a damn about basketball. She cares about the fact that Kobe Bryant was achieving his goals, and she can see the vision that he had. Like, she can see that she fell in love with him. Right? So as I land this plane, when you talk about men, when you talk about who you choose to be your wife or who you choose to spend the rest of your life with, you got to be very, very careful because she can either enhance it or destroy it. And in this society now, it's very easy for a woman to destroy your life, and it doesn't even have to take much resistance. Now, after that situation happened, you would think that things would get better and better, but they went through another long haul where there was a time Kobe Bryant and Vanessa Bryant almost divorced. I think it was in 2011, right? 2011, they almost had a divorce. Um, right here, it says TMZ is so damn messy. They said has also reported that Vanessa believes Bryant has been unfaithful again. The 2003 incident in Colorado when the Lakers star was charged with sexual assault. So again, 2003, it happened in Colorado in the sexual assault, where basically, Vanessa Bryant had basically, was behind Kobe Bryant throughout the entire scandal. So, of course, when it comes to certain situations like this, your marriage gets stronger and stronger, or your relationship gets stronger and stronger, because it's not about what happens when things are going good, it's about when things go bad. How strong can you be? Will you still be by my side? And she was the whole time. But unfortunately, what happened after that, Kobe Bryant, according to her, she felt like was being unfaithful again. Um, Me personally, it wouldn't shock me because again, let me tell y'all something. When y'all in a pro, when you're in a pro form, when you're on the road all the time, half the time of the year, like I said in one of my other videos, you're on the road more than you are with your family. You're not around with your family, but you are on the road and with your teammates and stuff like that. Where do you have to stay on the road? In hotels. So you're talking about year after year after year. And as a man, we crave sexual intimacy. And when you're in that hotel room by yourself and you have access to all these different women, if you just pick up the phone and make a call, I'm not saying it's right because it's not right, especially if you're married. But there are plenty of men who would fall to that weakness. There's plenty of men that find it is acceptable. I have a wife at home. There's actually an agreement. I have a wife at home. She knows what it is. I come home to her. I take care of her. I take care of the house. I take care of this, that, and the other. And on the back end, I can still do my thing on the side with other women. That's the agreement some marriages will have. I take care of home. I take care of you. I take care of the kids. I get the access to be able to have different women when I'm, out. So it wouldn't shock me if this was the case. So after that, Vanessa Bryant filed for divorce. So I don't think this was something that was actually arranged, because if that was arranged, then she wouldn't be so upset, right? If you have an arrangement, you're not going to file for a divorce right after claiming somebody's being unfaithful. So this is basically, and also for those of you guys know, Vanessa had a miscarriage after Natalia was born, her second child. It happened right after Natalia was born. I think it was because it was after. I think it was after 2004. They were supposed to have another child, and Vanessa had a miscarriage because what Kobe Bryant believes was his fault because of the stress level of the whole allegations. That wasn't her. That was Kobe's word. It was my fault because the stress level that I put her through that whole investigation is why she had that miscarriage. So according to this, Vanessa is asking for joint custody of their two daughters, 8-year-old Natalia and 5-year-old Gianna. But Vanessa is asking that Kobe get visitation rights, which means she wants the kids to in her care most of the time, right? We've learned the couple has no prenup, so 29-year-old Vanessa is entitled to half of the empire built over the last decade. Okay, hold it right there. So we go back to the beginning. Vanessa is taken for joint custody of their two daughters, 8-year-old Natalia and 5-year-old Gianna. So this is when they were kids, babies. She said, but Vanessa's asking for Kobe to get visitation rights. So I remember this. When Kobe was playing in 2011. He was going through a divorce. I remember this. And I don't know if it was Ramona Shelburne or Rachel Nichols. One of the ladies who was an ESPN reporter reported that Kobe Bryant was very depressed going through the divorce, right? Because he knew what he was losing. Like I said, when you talk about marriage, you talk about there's going to be some rock holes. And then how do you respond to it is going to be the biggest inkling. She said Vanessa's asking for joint custody of their 2 daughters. So basically, she was done at that time. I was basically there for you when I needed you, when you needed me in your rape charge. I stood by you. I did not, cause any confusion. I didn't leave you. I didn't do nothing. I stood by you. We had, a connection, a bond after that. I'm pretty sure that you probably said you weren't going to do it again. And then you fall into infidelity once more. And then she said, you know what? I'm done. And even with that, she said, I still want Kobe to get visitation rights. This time right now, she can already rate Kobe through the codes. She can say, man, fuck you, nigga. I'm not finna go and give you anything. You embarrassed me again, publicly and privately. You took you basically took my trust and just threw it out the window. She could have, in her right, she could have done all this, but she still said, I want him to have visitation rights, meaning I want him to still be a father. I still want him to be in my children's life. She could have basically said, I don't want him being around my children at all. He's out. He's not properly conducted. He is not in his well rights to be a father to our daughters. He needs to get his life straight before he gets. She could have done all this, but she still said, I want him to be around for the children. There was no prenup involved. She could have took half of his estate by now. This right there debunks the whole point that she was just there for his money. Because if she was there for his money, she would have took half of it already. He who finds a good wife, who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Focus on the scriptures, my men. Focus on the scriptures. If you focus on the scriptures, it makes everything simple. She had every opportunity to basically embarrass Kobe the same way Kobe embarrassed Vanessa. And this is somebody who is the avid Kobe Bryant supporter. I'm just speaking to y'all, talking to y'all about something deep. If she wanted to embarrass Kobe Bryant, she would have already did it. And then 2 years later, she calls the divorce off. Kobe Bryant buys her a $4 million ring. This, that. People think that was the reason why she. Nah, it was a nice gesture. He went overboard. He basically had to, go overboard because he had messed up again. But that damn ring did not keep her around. It was the love that she's had for this. It was the love that she had for him since they were 17 years old. They were already married for a decade by now. That's a lot of talks. It's a lot of, deep, deep talks. They have children now. Like I said, a woman falls in love with a man's hope and potential, a man's potential. That's what she sees that no one else sees. So she wasn't going to let that go. And like I said, she's of Mexican descent. I've dated plenty of Mexican women. And I've gotten a chance to know their families and have good relationships with their families. They don't believe a lot of them don't believe in divorcing. The old school. They believe in the traditional values. They believe in sticking by their man. Or the Latina, coach, because Mexicans not even Latina. That's just they're Spanish and Native American. But I'm talking about when you talk about the Latin you know what I'm saying, culture, they believe in traditional values. They believe by sticking by their man. So it doesn't surprise me Vanessa chose to stick by Kobe Bryant the whole time, even though he was doing wrong. They believe in fixing what's going on, take their vows very seriously. They believe in having firstly. They believe in, you know, getting married at a young age, because a lot of them, you know, they need some type of security, you know, because that's how it is. They work, they honor their man, they take care of their man, all this type of stuff. I'm talking about what I know, and I'm pretty sure a few of y'all have experienced the same thing. When you talk about Latino women, they have those traditional values. I'm pretty sure her mother, you know, taught her those things at a young age, how to, you know, take care of the home, how to take care of the kids, how to, you know what I'm saying, do these things, because she got it from somewhere. So Kobe Bryant dies. Kobe Bryant's no longer here. Um, Kobe Bryant is basically, deceased. So Vanessa Bryant has been a widow for 4 years. Now, of course, coming with that, you can imagine you not only losing your husband but your daughter as well. And it's an unfortunate accident that no one saw coming. See, we look at Kobe Bryant as the basketball legend, the player. That's who we love. She's looking at it like, I lost my husband, I lost my best friend, I lost my kid's father. Her level of hurts on a whole different level. She still has to raise her family. She still has to raise 3 other daughters. Well, now 2, because one of them is off in college. She has to raise 3 other daughters. She has to show a sign of strength even when she wants to be weak. When I look at her 3 daughters, and of course this goes to Kobe Bryant too, they're well mannered, they're well respected, they're not disrespectful. From what I'm just looking at, I can kind of see, and just through my energy and my lens, they're not kids that are disrespectful. That's part of being how the parent is. You are a reflection of your kids. Your kids are a reflection of you. So if your kids are respectful and mannerable, that means you probably came from a good household. That came from a good upbringing. So we have to credit Kobe Bryant and Vanessa for that. And as when Kobe Bryant passed away, Vanessa Bryant had every again, she has every she can do whatever she wants to do. And she still remains to be private, just like her teachers and classmates said she was very private. She never seeked attention. She always tried to maintain her privacy. She's still to this day trying to extend Kobe Bryant's legacy. As her and her daughters in front of Kobe Bryant's childhood home. She still supported him as much as he was here, as if he was here. She is helping with the legacy of Kobe Bryant through his businesses and through his career. One story, I'll give y'all a quick story. So there's this guy I met who lives in Newport Beach, which is where Kobe Bryant, that's where he lived and that's where his home was. So Kobe Bryant a lot of times would be in the community walking around with his family. He would no security, really, just basically him and his family around. And they go to the grocery store, they go to the whatever the mall around, whatever it is, and you can imagine the amount of people. You're in LA, you're in Newport Beach, you're in a place where everybody knows who you are with your family. There was one report, this guy said that Kobe would speak to everybody, would always talk to everybody. You know, was very friendly with people, always smiling. And Vanessa Bryant be the one that's actually more protective, not really wanting people to touch him, not wanting people to really get close to him, none of that stuff. So again, it's that intuition as a woman that a wife must have, especially if a man of that ilk, that you basically is his ears and eyes. And Kobe Bryant, I'm pretty sure, caught up to that damn, this woman is basically she can see things that I'm not even seeing. And that's a very attractive feat to have when a man's looking at a woman, because that's a woman that you can count on. Even you guys, as a normal man, wants a woman who actually you can know has your back. So, like I said, I'm going to get deeper into this in the next volume. Again, if you guys are watching and you guys have been enjoying this, please share this Patreon with some of your family and friends that you feel like you can also need this type of light. Because again, this is more so, like I said, this is geared towards men, but primarily black men. And I can say that on here because this is a different platform than YouTube. Like YouTube, is there certain things you just can't really get too deep into. It's just how it is. People, strike you or the restrict guidelines. But here I can say what the hell I want to say. Right. Well, I hope that y'all enjoyed it. We'll be back on. I'll probably drop the next one in the next couple of days. I'll probably, drop it probably maybe even tomorrow. I'll see how I feel. But until next time, respect. We say pull up, see, pull up, check, pull live. Peace.